Wow, good evening. Merry Christmas. Just
Merry
a
Christmas.
few days away. And welcome to Town Talk. And tonight we have a new member of the panel here, Miguel. I don't know if you might have seen Miguel around town. He sometimes works at the Little Man.
Little Man Originals.
Little Man Originals on Church Street, upstairs.
Now that's right. You build something. You make something, right?
Handbags.
My wife makes the handbags.
Okay, and what kind of? Tell me about that.
Well, she makes. She's been making about maybe 12, 13 years. She's been working on making fabric handbags for women, the accessories and all those kinds of things, and so she sells them in Church Street on the second floor of. I think it's 10 Church Street, is it? The 110?
No, it can't be 10.
Where the flower shop is?
You know where the
That's where her studio is.
the floral shop is? In Dennis Latour's building.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Town and Country, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
go
pretty cool.
visit her. Have your wife come and visit her.
Yeah, not me. I quit carrying handbags a long time.
No, not your wife.
Because they never match my shoes.
Christmas is coming soon. Christmas is coming soon.
That's cool. That's cool. Now.
Well, they actually,
gonna say-
one of their clients
Uh-huh.
is the White House gift shop.
That's so cool. Good for you.
Yeah, she got a.
I knew a woman that used to make handbags out of old license plates.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Yeah.
I mean, and she did well.
Metal handbags.
Yeah, yeah, they were made out of folded up license
Wow.
plates and stuff. Yeah, she was nuts.
She still do.
No, she's crazy.
I know a guy that makes bird houses out of
That's
license
cool.
plates.
Out of license plates.
Yeah, I don't know where he gets all those license plates, but
Prison.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, is that right? Yeah, that's.
You know they don't make.
They
them
don't make them there
They
anymore.
don't make them there
Oh.
anymore. They
No,
used to.
That would be too much work for them.
One of the things that they did in the prisons was they had the stamping machine to make license plates. But they've stopped doing that. Now there's some contractor, I think he's out of New Jersey now, that makes the license plates for mass.
Nothing good comes out of New Jersey.
Russ is from New Jersey.
This is local, right?
No, I'm from New Jersey.
He's from New Jersey. Originally from New Jersey.
No,
Actually, originally from New York,
actually, yeah.
New York City.
Then I went to Jersey and wound up here.
Yeah.
My wife is from upstate New York.
Where?
It's a small town called Pulaski.
Yeah.
Near maybe 40 minutes from Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Up in the capital region.
Yes.
Yeah. It's beautiful. New York
nice up
City
there.
is really beautiful there. We go over there and do vacation by Lake Ontario when we go over there.
Ooh, that's a pretty area.
It's
Oh.
nice, very nice. Yeah.
That's a pretty area. So around town, we have some new stuff going on. So the individuals, because I'm going to be very nice tonight, Christmas season, the individuals who got this school through are pulling the same nonsense with the middle school that they pulled with the Palmer School. They're calling the fire department, and we have a problem with this, and we can't get heat in the rooms. We have to get fire alarms going off. They get there, there's nothing going on. The heat isn't up to snuff. It's the windows don't close. Yeah, because we don't maintain the damn schools.
Oh.
You build them and then you don't maintain them. The one on Linwood Avenue, which is a $28 million school,
Yeah.
they don't take care of it all. You got guys that are taking care of fields and no maintenance going on in the schools.
The brand
They
new
clean-
high school?
The
Is
brand,
this
yeah, well, it's actually,
kind of little.
believe it or
Close to
not,
20
it's
years old
20
now.
years old.
Yeah.
It looks pretty new though, isn't it?
But the
About
problem
20
is,
years old now.
Wow.
the problem is that they're
Time
going to try
flies.
and snooker everybody into another school when we're paying for this one for 30 years.
It ain't gonna happen.
No. Well, here's the other scam. I, being a butter of the new school, got a letter in the mail, registered letter in the mail, that they're going to start doing meetings about the conservation and the wetlands. So they're admitting that they're going to put a school on wetlands. But here's what they did, because they're such sleazoids. They don't tell you when the meetings are. You have to go online and try and find when the meetings are.
Well, wait a minute. There could be because, first of all, they have to send registered letters.
Right.
But they're supposed to send it when they have the meeting posted.
No. All it says is you must look online or in the town hall to find out when they
The
are.
reason they're doing that is they haven't scheduled
Well,
it yet
right,
with
they
the
haven't scheduled it.
conservation.
But what's telling me is that they're trying to put this on, which I already know, is wetlands. The whole area of Whiten Woods and that area is wet.
Right.
So they're just admitting to me that they're going ahead with something that is completely stupid.
Is that legal to do that? Can they do
Well,
that?
they can if nobody fights it.
Well, it's
They'll
up to
litigate it.
conservation
Yeah.
where they build it. You know, they can, they go in and they have to flag out the wetlands. They got to show where the wetlands is, and they got to show it on a plan, and then how they build it is going to be up to the engineers, including a town engineer.
And don't they have to replicate the wetland somewhere else?
Yes, if they use any of it, yes.
So just so I can follow a little bit here. This is what they were trying to. They were trying to get a new school replace the Balmer current school, right?
Right.
This is the school you're talking about, the new.
Yes.
And that's already passed, right?
Yeah, it
Yes.
passed.
So now they're looking.
They voted into it.
Yeah.
But as what happens with these things is they do something that way, and then they find out that, wait a minute, A, we didn't budget enough for it.
Oh.
We've got problems that we didn't anticipate.
Right.
After they spent all this money for consulting.
I wonder about these
Real.
consultants sometimes.
Well, that's you know what the definition of a consultant is? It's a guy that you give your watch to, and then you ask him what time of day it is, Eldad. That's the definition of a consultant.
So they're not prepared to build this thing, is what you're saying?
Well,
or-
it's
Well, they got some things they got to do, but that's the way
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's always that way. That's what the planning board is for. We have to oversee it too, and conservation. But what Russ is saying is that that was a wetlands. There was a problem with the school that's currently there,
it's sinking.
and they're trying to build it in the same area, and then tear down the old one after,
Right.
so that they can build it without interrupting any classes. They're going to leave the old one there until it's done, then tear it down after.
And they're being sneaky with the meetings, you're
Well,
saying?
yeah, it's just, you know, it's just, they don't want anybody to come in and cause problems. So they make it nebulous when the meetings are, so that, you know, you can't get to them. So you can't really bucket, because if enough people bucket, they got to stop. They got to figure a way to mitigate the wetlands, which is nuts. The area is so saturated with water. You got
It's going to be more saturated
well, yeah,
this weekend.
that's right.
Yeah.
There's so many ponds and reservoirs in that area and springs in that area that it just, when they built the houses, they changed the topography, which was 40 years ago, scary as that is,
Yeah.
that the springs are just, I mean, there's certain areas of Whiten Woods that are just soaked all the time. You know, people's lawns just, they water coming out of them all the time.
Well, when they originally built the houses there, they had all on-site storage. They had to put town sewer in because they were all failing
Right.
because it was so wet.
Wow.
And yeah, it is. Well, it runs down to a wet area when you think about it.
Arcade
all-
Pond.
Yeah, all
Everything
that,
goes into
the
Arcade.
hills back there, you got, if you start out where, you know, even where New Pond is, it seems far away, but it works its way down
Oh, yeah,
that
it
way.
does.
So there's no other places they could build it? That's a drier land?
Well,
or-
the problem is we don't own land that could support the property. We own some land,
Yeah.
but it would take so much money to blast the ledge out of that property that it would be astronomical.
Right.
So they're gonna build on wetlands if nobody watches them, and that could be another
Well,
similar
Well, they'll
problem.
probably go through it
The
anyway.
conservation will be looking at it, but
Yeah.
how they decide, I don't know how, you know, things are gonna work. I can tell you this, the house at the very top of Gold Crate Road,
Yeah,
on top of Carpenter Road,
yeah,
the little cape,
yeah.
my uncle used to live there. There's a sump pump in the cellar.
Oh, yeah.
because nets at the top of it, because it was so much water. They had a permanent sump in the cellar, keep draining the lot.
I got one.
You got one.
I always have a second one too, just in case that one fails.
Yeah.
if they build
be in trouble.
if they build this new school, it will probably have the same issues that the current one has. And then what? That's a waste of money, basically, or
I mean, you're going into the same. They're going into the same situation that you have now.
Yeah.
Is it first off, the school that they have is in disrepair. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's in disrepair, but we don't maintain it. We don't take care of them. We go in with janitors or custodial assistants, whatever you want, and then we clean them, but we don't maintain them.
Okay, we got a call here. Go ahead, you're on.
Hey,
Hey,
good evening, gentlemen. I'd like to welcome Miguel to the new NCTV community and
Thank you.
and welcome aboard.
thanks.
Okay, Barry.
that it?
Oh no. A few things like you said, Russ. You got a lot going on, and buckle up. I did watch the school building committee meeting the other night on the school channel, and they did mention about putting new drainage pipes in and things like that. So I don't know if that's something you just want to check out, but that's something that might be of interest to you. And also, I think it was either the school building committee meeting in October. They returned $47,000 to the town from that $750,000 study, and that might be some funds that can shore up the middle school for a little bit. But food for thought, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw the Board of Selectmen's meeting the other night, but I'd like to offer some accolades to the person that they recommended for the economic board. I guess that person also supports the Renaissance of Rockdale. Also, Harry, I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else going on with Rockdale besides the skating rink, or it's just
Oh no, we have a study committee came in of business people.
right?
This is funded through the state, through Central Mass. And they're putting together a concept of what you can do in Rockdale to try and build a business up. Now, I gave them some concepts on my own, but we'll see what they come up with. I've been on I haven't lately now, but when he first got done, the guy who's writing the final plan called me a number of times, asked me different things. So he's putting some effort into this, and waiting to see what that study brings out. But it's very difficult to develop anything today. I mean, what do you come up with?
Right. Now is our excellent town planner helping you, Harry?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, he'll be working on it too. He was involved as well. But when they put their committee together, they had a meeting at the town hall. They threw him and I out.
Oh,
Yeah, they said we're elected officials. We don't want you in here.
well, you think? I mean, you guys should be an asset.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the way they do it. So, we had to leave.
Oh, that's.
But we took them on a tour of Rockdale before that.
You want to get
well,
Rockdale
town
back on
manager,
its
I'll
feet?
ask him, I think you guys should be involved because I mean you're quite an asset to the town.
You want to get Rockdale back on its feet, you're going to have to reduce the amount of smock housing
Oh,
and and have a little gentrification go on where you get rid of the drugs and have people move in there that want to upgrade it, because that's a big problem. It's a big problem.
right. Because I think there was a gentleman that called in a couple of shows again, and,
Yep.
and he said that he was working with our excellent police department, and they're putting a comprehensive plan together to try to address some of those issues, if I recall correctly, Rusty.
Yeah.
Hey, we tried some. We got a great golf course in Rockdale.
Mhm.
A very upscale community up there.
Right.
That's part of Rockdale, so it's a good mix now.
Right.
We needed some good business, but
Yeah.
the biggest part of the problem, where do you park?
Right.
I mean, they did the same thing to Church Street with the streetscape. It takes off the parking.
Right.
And I talked to businesses there. Miguel's wife has a business there. They can tell you that the parking is a problem, and people don't realize. And that's something we got to take up. I'm bringing it up before the town planner. You got to point out the fact that you can park in the back.
Right. Right.
If you don't live in town, you don't know that. It looks like an
Right.
alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could make some signs up or something.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
that's
and
what
when
they're
they
gonna do.
when they do streetscapes and things like that, a certain portion of the actual program is signage,
Right. Right.
and that would be one thing that would be very helpful to that area.
Right. Right.
I can tell you though, because I go down, we go down to Church Street. We go to eat sometimes. Wife and I. It can be pretty tough finding a parking spot even in the back there because all the employees that would come in town that are working in town, and you'd be surprised how many there are.
Right.
They fill up that area. And thank God Unibank made us a parking lot too as well. So,
Right.
but
Is there any parking available down where the old train stop used to be, Harry?
you mean in Rockdale?
Right. Right.
Well, yeah, that's privately owned.
Oh, that's privately owned.
Yeah, that's owned by, well, I don't know exactly how it breaks down. Cars owns some. There's a guy from Webster that used to own that warehouse, and
Right.
so they don't want people parking there.
Oh,
'Cause
no. I was just trying to think of.
right, but they have their trucks going in and out of there. Cars is using his lot. He's got a lot of trucks parked there.
Right. Right.
But I mean, that's kind of far off.
Well, okay.
You want to be closer.
Right, but I mean that sounds more logical, like you said, out and back there.
Well, I think you got to work out a deal, probably with some of the smart properties. They got a lot of parking area on Providence Road,
Hmm.
and they're paved. It's paved parking lots, as well as down further, Ronnie Lesko's area. We can work something out. You could have some
Right.
parking, but you got to have some businesses come in, and you got to use that river as a draw.
Right, like they do down there in Woonsocket, the restaurant that's right on the water there.
Oh yeah, great place. They do well there, right at the falls.
Right, yeah. I mean, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do.
Well, we had a guy that wanted to put a restaurant that would overlook the fall, not the falls, but the river.
We did.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't know what happened. Here again, he's concerned about the parking.
Oh.
Well, you couldn't support a restaurant with the little limited parking you have
No.
on the street.
No.
Right.
So I mean, but the guy was interested, and I know somebody's looking at the former Sammy's.
Oh.
But there used to be a pavilion there
Right.
that went out over the river.
Right, because I know Kenny was looking for some pictures of that at one time.
Yes. And nobody can seem to find any.
Right.
But right where the bridge is, where the Ross Rajat Bridge is, there was a pavilion that went out over the river.
Right, they said there used to be dancing
They
there.
used to have dances on it. Yeah,
No
Right.
kidding.
yeah.
Maybe we could make a glass one.
That
Like they
wouldn't
did
that be something?
Wouldn't they, like they did over?
Yeah, like the Native Americans did over in Arizona.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. Maybe we can see if we can get a grant or something.
We can get a donation from a glass company in town.
We do make a lot of glass flooring now, which shocks the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Wouldn't that be something?
I got to take my hat off to the DPW on that complete street project that they presented, and if that works out, we might be able to get some benefit out of that. And I know Millbury got their the bus, the local those vandalized proof bus stops.
Yes.
Because there's none right now for the WRTA, and that would be a benefit to seniors and parents with young children to be able to get all the elements. So
Well,
that'd be great.
The WRTA, what you do on that bus route is you stand outside and they stop wherever you are.
Right,
I think it would be better if you had stops,
right.
and it'd draw people. They would know. People that don't even realize that bus will stop.
Right, because I see it at Shaw's and Walmart a lot, but I don't know what the other bus stop is that they utilize.
Well, as they're going through Rockdale, if the people walk out and they see them, they flag them down like you flag down a cab.
Right.
But I think it'd be better if you had areas where they would, and sheltered ones,
Right. Right.
so that when it's you got bad inclement weather, at least you're not getting wet.
Right. And lastly, I was very interested in all the cannabis projects that might be coming to town.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yeah, and
We're
I
going to be
really hope that that the town puts its thinking cap on and works out a nice, good host agreements, and maybe we can get some help to subsidize the new school and a possible fire station. But
Bingo.
food for thought, anyway.
Well, that's going to be a job of the town manager.
Right. Right.
The selectman put it in his hands.
Right.
We are, the max we can get is a 6% tax on the retail.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get it. You don't get the revenues like that with the growing.
Right. Right. But you get some property tax.
Yes, and the thing is that the growing now we're up to 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
prospective ones.
Right.
I told Harry I'm going to have a growing field behind my house. I got plenty of land right back there.
Industry,
You know.
But hey, again, you guys have a good Merry Christmas and,
Merry Christmas.
welcome
Merry Christmas.
Miguel to the 3 and 11 community.
Thank you.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Bye now.
Merry Christmas, Barry.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, Barry's a regular.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, another thing that people are forgetting, we got the CPA now. I forgot what it stands for now. Preservation Act, Community Preservation Act, and that's another 2%, I think it was, on your taxes. But that money goes into a special fund. I'm going to get on that committee. There's 7 members, and they'll decide where it goes, and that can be done. You can do it for historic reasons. If they have a building, that's historic buildings. You can use it for building recreation. You can use it for building it for school. It's a lot of different things. Well, maintenance of current buildings. So a lot of things can be done with that.
It's huge. You can't build something and not maintain it.
Right.
It's just like your house. You've got to maintain it. You got to put a roof on it.
Oh.
You got to take care of your heating system.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And we're not doing that. We're just letting things go.
And the thing is, the middle school, here again, that was an addition in the 80s. And I was against it. I got in trouble in my family with it because they were, oh, how can you be against it? I says, no, why don't we build a new one right now? Because you're taking and adding to it. Now they're complaining, oh, it didn't work out because the building is all these different places in the building and the kids get confused. But then why did we do that? Are we going to hear next that, oh, the high school, we built it in the wrong place or too small, we need a new location for that? Well, there's some problems with that because I know it was said, we're not putting another school on Linwood Ave.
No. You got plenty of school on. You got 3 now. You don't need any more.
The traffic is a nightmare.
Nuts at school time and getting out of school.
So
Especially with Bob Meller's favorite light system.
I was wondering, what measures do you take to, if you're talking about maintenance and you're talking about the problem of there being a lot of wetlands on the current school?
Well,
So
you can drain wetlands.
Yeah.
But sometimes if it's really wet, it's almost impossible to drain it enough.
Right. You can't get the water to go away.
Yeah.
You have because of this area,
Yeah.
where there's so much ledge and then there's so many springs, the springs are eternal. They never go away. So even if you divert the water,
Yeah.
the water is still there coming up. It's how you get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your area has a tendency to be spongy forever.
Right.
And that's what the problem is.
Yeah, and see, the other thing is,
So you get mildew.
When-
You
when-
get rot.
when you get that type of wet,
Yeah.
you don't have gravel.
But what do you do to that? We're talking about maintenance. Probably could help keep it.
Well, you can dig out the current soil and put
Yeah.
gravel in, because gravel drains,
Right,
but how much do you need? And you can only do so much.
right.
It gets too expensive.
So this new school's gonna have the same problems. What are they gonna do to keep it?
Well, that's
There's
what's gonna have
no-
to come up in the plans.
When you have have moisture,
Yeah,
you have mold, rot, and I don't care if it's with wood, steel, sheetrock.
Yeah,
All of that stuff absorbs water, and obviously steel doesn't absorb water, but it starts the process of rusting it away.
Oxidation.
Oxidation. Aluminum oxidizes to a certain point. It's just it doesn't make sense to stick something that you're going to want for 50 years on a piece of land that's wet.
So it was a bad idea from the beginning.
Oh, of course it was, but
Yeah.
they had to build a school.
Right.
And back in those days, I mean, the Balmer School is it's got to be 50 years old.
50 years old.
So you put it where you thought it was a good idea. You already had fields there, so they built a school there.
Yeah.
So, but the maintenance was never. I mean, the roofs were very stupid in New England with the way we design schools, and I've been in the projects of changing that in all of Connecticut. Massachusetts has not changed. Certain portions of the new high school have gabled roofs or hipped roofs. We have flat roofs. Flat roofs don't last. There's no after 10 years. There's no warranty on them. It's just the water just lays there, and water's very powerful.
So here's one interesting thing that I noticed in Whitensville. Like there's a high school, then there's a middle school, and there's another school down.
Christian school.
There's a Christian school. Then there's there's another school down.
Oh, you're
by,
talking about the
Cross Street School.
Cross Street
Yeah.
School, yeah, the
That's a primary school.
primary.
school. And
They want to close that.
That's going to be closed and combined into the new one.
they're going to close that.
Yes.
So they're taking a school
Yeah.
that's there now. They're going to triple it
Yeah, yeah.
on the same property.
Why wouldn't they do that on better land? What is the other school on better land? The one that they
Well, no,
want to close?
it's in a historical zone.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's also not big enough.
Oh no,
No, couldn't they?
the footprint isn't big enough.
So they couldn't remove that and build something bigger there.
No, there's not
And the
enough
thing
room.
that they have to
Not enough room.
And one of
Not
the things
enough
that I was very concerned with when they were going through this process was the factor of traffic, because you've got Swift, Lake, Crescent. Now, if you go into that area from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, you're done. You're going to sit there for a while.
They
Because all-
did do a good traffic pattern.
it's a great traffic pattern, because they're going to bring you off of the streets
Right.
into the school property, because the school is going to be in the back half
Right,
of
and
the
there's
property.
plenty of room.
Right.
So they did take that in
I
consideration.
know, that's the only thing that was very smart about it.
I can tell you, well, when they, 50 years ago, that was a good location for the fact that it was near the new village.
Right.
So you had a lot of the students that are going to go were right there, they could walk. That was taken into consideration. They didn't look at the traffic because back then you didn't have the same situation. The kids took the bus that
Right.
had to travel.
Right.
Now, they don't, not all the kids can take the bus
Right. You
because,
got to be a mile. No.
yeah, you're going to be
2 miles.
2 miles or
2
something,
miles.
yeah. Plus the fact that some of the ones that do take the bus have to pay for it.
Right.
So the parents, they say, well, if I'm going to pay them, I'll bring them myself. So you go down to Bomb School in the morning
Oh my God.
or in the
Oh,
afternoon,
my God.
and their parking area is full of people picking up their kids.
So is there no solution for the Balmer School then? Is it like
Well,
I mean,
the
you can't-
solution is they're gonna. The solution is they're going to build it there,
I
Right.
know, but
because it's the only land they have.
right, right.
But the problem, the thing is it's not ideal for what they want to do.
But there's no other option.
Not right now.
You know,
So
Henry,
what do they do? If
You're going to
there's no-
curse?
Henry O'Donnell.
Yeah, okay.
I know. He would, this property up on Hill Street called the Crow's Farm,
Yep.
Okay.
big open fields.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy that
Yeah.
for the high school. And then we said if we had to expand anything else, we'd have plenty of room. And that's true, he would have.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
again, could Hill Street have handled the traffic?
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. It's a problem. You know, we don't have big boulevards where you can put
No.
places, put things. And God knows they couldn't have put the Obama school down on Linwood Ave. That would have been a really disaster.
Oh my God, that would have been awful.
Yeah. Okay, it's. Go ahead, Carl. You're on.
I'd like to speak to Russ.
Yeah, he's right here.
Sitting right here.
Russell, I was surprised you weren't at the meeting tonight.
Well, you can't be at the meeting and be here.
Can't be at two places at one
Well,
time.
that's the whole thing. It was a conservation meeting for the Barmer School.
He didn't know it.
See, I didn't know it. I haven't been able to get on to find out when.
Oh, well, all the abutters got a letter in the mail.
That said to look it up.
The meeting was at 21 Piedmont Street. You know what that is?
No.
That's the police station.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
what, in the
too.
conference room?
How many people do you think showed up?
2.
4 people.
Well, it's better than I thought, too.
Why did they have it at the police station?
Well, it's just that the people that put it on is the one that sent it out, and they had the wrong address, and they apologized. Just a lot of baloney, but that's beside the point. And Russ, just for your information, next Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, they're going to have a site walk for all the water.
Good.
Next
And
Thursday.
they continued the meeting till the 7th, I think. They're going to have another meeting the 7th.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, the 6th.
Do you know where?
The same conservation.
Yeah, but where?
thing.
Well, I would assume the town hall, right?
No. On Cottage Street.
Oh, you mean in the Aldrich School,
Yeah.
where the office is? There's not enough room in there.
Well, they had 6 chairs.
It's only 4 people
They had
that show up anyway.
did a couple out.
They had
5
6
people
chairs.
there.
That's beautiful.
Unbelievable.
The planning board office is there, but we have our meetings in the town hall, in the selectmen's room.
That's where it should be.
The only thing I
It
can,
should be.
well, part of the problem might be the Board of Health meetings are on Wednesday night, and they use the selectmen's room. But you can have that conference room down cellar in the town hall that can accommodate quite a few people.
So next Thursday,
1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's no school. They're going to meet at the school parking lot, and they're going to walk the site.
I will be there. I've walked the site a million times.
As long as we don't get a
Of course,
snowstorm.
you've lived there all your life.
Right. Well, last
Well,
everybody is.
almost all your life.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Okay,
pretty
so
much,
who's the new
yeah.
guy on the screen here tonight?
Hmm?
Who's the new guy on the other?
That's
side?
Miguel.
Harry.
That's Miguel.
Miguel who?
Guanipa.
Guanipa. He's lived in town for how many years now?
Maybe 8, 9.
8 or 9 years. He lives in town. His wife has a business on Church Street.
2000. No, maybe more.
Oh,
because I was
okay.
there before. Yeah.
Never saw him, never heard him. That's okay. I've
Well,
only been in town a few years.
We got a population of
Well, have a good
15,000 now. There's a lot of people. I run into people that live in
It's
town that I never saw before.
Absolutely amazing. I see people in the grocery stores and walking up and down the streets, and I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
And in our neighborhood, it's going to change real quick.
He hung up.
And in our neighborhood, it's changing very fast.
Yeah.
Lot of movement in our neighborhood.
Yeah. All the people with kids in elementary school are going to move in now because they'll be closer to school.
So the gentleman that called earlier, was he talking about an actual proposal that they had some kind of drainage for the school that they were going to put in there?
Well,
it's like
well,
they're
the
gonna walk it.
engineers have to come up with a
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
They have to come up with a plan on how they're going to handle the water.
And they
You know
have
what
a-
I'll do? I'm going to walk the site with them, and I'm going to show them that culvert that they told me didn't exist.
The what?
There's a drainage culvert
Yeah.
right behind my house
Yeah.
that's as big as this corner, and they said it wasn't there. Now, I've been living there for almost 40 years. I said, I've been clearing that for 40 years. I know it's there. It's there to take the water off of
The
Whiten
hill.
Woods
Yeah.
and then put it into the lake.
The pond,
The
the
pond.
arcade pond. You familiar with what we're talking about?
The
Across from the armory is the arcade pond.
right on
Yeah.
right on Main Street. You know where Cormark is on Main Street?
Main
The
Street.
big, you know what? You know where
The new gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pond that's right there.
Right,
That
right.
that pond is fed from behind his house.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's fed from a bunch of whole places, right? There's a
well, from the whole
thing that
whole
comes from
neighborhood.
behind my house. There's also
Where do you live?
a brook, Goldthwaite.
Oh, you're
Goes
right up the block from me.
Goes right down there.
You're
yeah.
right up the block
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in the same area.
Yeah.
That's Whitenwood. That's the Whitenwoods development across from you.
So that's wetland. back
Swift,
there.
Mason, all of
Yeah.
those roads. That's the Whitenwoods development.
Yeah.
I was literally the first house built in that neighborhood.
Wow.
I wasn't the first owner.
Yeah. That's what.
Somebody owned it for 6 months before me.
He's down at the bottom where the stop signs are.
Oh, is your house? Well, you have the water right there, right? You live down there?
No, you
Not
know
in
when you
Gold-
go to the bottom of Swift.
Oh, Goldthwaite first. I mean,
Okay,
let's
if
say
you're
I'm
on-
in Goldthwaite.
No, if you're on, you know where Swift Road is.
It's right up Goldthwaite. Isn't it?
Right. Off of
And if you
Goldthwaite.
took Swift Road and went down towards the school,
Yeah.
you know where
yeah,
the stop
yeah.
sign is. You know the blue house with the barn, the garage that looks like a barn. That's my house.
I haven't been there. I
Right
know
on the
that
bottom.
there's a guy over there that has a family that has a Festus pole at Festivus pole at Christmas time that they put up.
Festivus Bowl.
Yeah, the festival.
Oh, Mike Edwards.
Seinfeld.
Mike
Oh,
Edwards. Mike Edwards.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
festive.
You didn't put it up this year.
No, I saw it a couple of years ago. There's a
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah, festive pole,
For the,
yeah.
for, the feet, for the feats of strength.
From,
yeah.
from
From
Seinfeld.
Yeah. Anyway,
They do that one episode and it becomes a big thing.
Well, did you see how many people have pulled, put stuff out from Christmas Vacation?
Yeah,
The guy had
the movie,
the
Christmas.
movie
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
Vacation. Well, so there was a guy in I want to say it's Arizona or something. He had like Clark Griswold hanging off the gutter,
yeah.
and people were stopping, calling 911. It was just a mannequin. There was a guy with an RV, and he had Eddie smoking a cigar with the tube going into the sewer. Oh, everybody, people are nuts.
There's a house in Uxbridge
yeah.
right on 122 with a Santa hanging from the porch.
I tell you, have you seen the guy's display of Five Corners?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
Oh, he's at it again.
That
I
guy-
know he's
He's
put it
really
up.
nice.
I haven't gone there at night because it's the zoo.
Yeah.
Now they got no parking signs all around there,
Yeah.
but I bet there's people parked there.
No, sure. People
Yeah.
stop and listen.
Yeah, they stopped
They're not
because the
hurting
music
anybody.
goes. I wonder what the electricity bill for that is. It's got to be.
Well, he only does it every other year
Yeah.
because his bill is so high. It takes him
It's
2
nice
years
though.
to pay
do
the
that.
bill.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah,
There was a guy on the news a couple of nights ago who had been doing it for eons, and he's 94 and he stopped this year. This is his last year.
well,
And
yeah.
I'm looking at the house going, how the hell did he get up there? It's like a 94 climbing ladders? I'm okay.
94.
Yeah. Tis the season.
Yeah.
So they are trying to seek alternative solutions to it.
Well, they have to handle the water somehow.
Yeah.
They have to show. When you build anything, you got to show that you handle the drainage and that you don't add to it.
Yeah.
All right. So they do that with retention or detention ponds, where they build a pond and they hold the water in there and then release
Drain
it
slowly.
slowly.
Yeah.
So you're not adding to the amount of flow in his culvert. They can't put more in there than is already going in there now. So it doesn't overflow and flow into Russ's cellar.
I got plenty.
Yeah.
But
I
if
get-
you're talking about a bigger school, then you may have a problem then.
Well, you got a big footprint
Yeah.
when you.
Big footprint.
So that's going to affect you personally.
Oh,
Directly.
personally, it won't affect me
Directly. It's gonna-
because what they're going to put behind me
Yeah.
is just what I have now, is sports fields.
Yeah.
And I'm great with that. I think that, look, kids playing sports is a great thing.
Yeah.
It keeps them out of trouble. It keeps them active. They're not on the computers. More kids that play sports, the better off we are. But my concern is for the future of maintaining a building that you're building on a wetlands. Look, I get it. I'm not a NIMBY guy. NIMBY is not in my backyard. That's not my gig. I'm concerned of wasting money. I don't like to waste money. when they built the school, the high school, I went to the meetings.
Yeah.
My and I don't like to say the word expertise, but my business acumen for years is windows and glass and things like that. I looked at the plans. They had giant double-hung windows. I said, that's a bad idea because they're never going to work. No, we're architects. We know what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
6
you
months
wonder.
in, they don't open.
Right. They're too heavy.
They're too heavy. There's no balances in the world that can hold this door up. They don't want to listen. They're architects. They cut and paste. I go through this all day. I deal with architects all day.
Yeah.
I got an architect now in Fairfield, Connecticut, that wants to put a Category 4 bullet-resistant glass doors in a primary school. Do you know how much they weigh? 857 pounds. How's a kid going to open that
How's the kid
door?
gonna open the door?
But the architect says it's a good idea. It's just they cut and paste.
Yep.
Somebody said, hey, do you know what Category 4 bullet-resistant glass can stop? Almost a bazooka. The hell are you doing with it?
Yeah, you don't need that.
No, it's just overkill. Which and we had it here. They wanted to put school guard in all of the windows. Can't do it. It's illegal. The fire marshal said you can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't fire, but the department can't get in if there's a fire. You put it in the vestibule. You put it in the outer doors, and that's it. But if the windows have to be cracked to get in to save kids and put fires out, you need to be able to get in.
How long will it take to build the new bombers?
3 years.
3 years?
3
Well,
to 5.
That's the schedule.
That's the schedule.
3 to 5 years. I've
3 to
never
5
seen one
years.
go up correctly.
Go up in the time that
Yeah,
it's
not
allowed.
gonna happen.
Yeah. And they have to tear down the other one too.
No,
No?
they're going to build it,
Then
fill
after
it,
it's all
then tear
done,
it down.
then tear it down.
Okay. Well, they have
After
to
they move into the new one.
Yeah.
And look, it's probably going to be great because you need the technology.
Yeah. So what
But
are they
again-
going to do with the space for the one that they tore down? What's going to
I
happen to that space?
I think that's just going to be parking.
That's going to be parking and fields.
No, the fields are going to be in the front.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have something back there like a soccer because you got plenty of room in back.
That's worse.
Oh yeah, but
That's
it's
worse.
fields now.
No, in the back.
Well, not all the way,
was
but
one-
there is some
was
lawn
one
back
field, and it's soaked all the time. We used to try to play soccer back there in practice, and you were squishing.
there. And now with all this rain, well, it's a
Oh.
good time to be checking it
Oh
out.
yeah, it'll be great.
You imagine next year.
I'll be wearing some thick boots.
We're getting over 2 inches of rain this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You go out the next Thursday, it's still gonna, and with the ground partially frozen, that ain't draining too much.
So what do you plan to propose, Russell, when you go at the meeting and they say, okay, we're going to build it?
Well,
and
he's not
this
going to
stuff-
propose anything. He's
I
going
can't propose anything. I'm just in a
What
butter
are you
and
gonna-
ask questions.
what are you gonna suggest?
He's
Yeah.
going to ask him, well, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Right. I mean, I know what I have to do for my own properties is I
Yeah.
have to take a lot of pictures and videos of my property because
Yeah.
I've seen what happens at construction sites. I've been in millions of them, and they mess up your house. You know, I have a pool. They could crack that pool.
Yep.
It won't be pretty.
Wow.
And they're going to take down 110, 115 trees.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're going to build walls. They're going to build stone walls between the school and people's properties because the land goes downhill. Oh, yeah, this is quite an undertaking. And the worst thing that I think they're doing, which, look, they think every neighborhood is a utopia, but it's not, is they're going to have enclosed playgrounds. Like, it's going to be inside like a quadrant, which you know what's going to happen in there. I mean, we've been down. I mean, look what they did to the ship they put down there. They set the thing on fire.
Yeah.
What's going to be
They built
Built a playground out of
playground
wood.
out of wood. We all went out there and built this giant playground. It was shaped like a ship and had things on it. Well, and the kids in the neighborhood are not stellar
Yeah.
and set it on fire with
They set
gasoline.
it on fire?
Yeah. Yeah. So now they got a metal one.
This one's a metal one. What would be the problem with that? What
It's
may
just
happen?
the neighborhood is.
Is it going to stop painting stuff?
Oh,
It's a
that
rough
and they'll
neighborhood.
be in there with drugs and stuff like that.
It's a rough neighborhood. They,
Right now, there's two dugouts and they're always in there.
Yeah. You find the needles all over the
So
place.
they need to
We
do
get it
something
here with the
about
Little
that
League.
issue then. What's that? They have to do something about that before anything, I mean,
The consultants and the architects did not take that into consideration. They just built a beautiful school.
right.
It's stellar, and it's in a perfect neighborhood. No, it's not. No, it's not. We can't have basketball courts there because they tear them down. We had basketball courts there for years. They would go up and tear the rims down because they're disadvantaged kids that don't have anything else to do,
Yeah,
so they lash out and break stuff. You have a beautiful playground, locked.
Yep.
It's locked.
Can't use it.
Nobody can use it unless it's school time. It's ridiculous.
So there's a problem with the neighborhood
Oh, hell yeah.
people then, kind of like some issues there.
Oh, yeah. There's two areas in town that you have a drug problem. Here and the village.
I heard the village, yeah, there's some problems, yeah.
And let me tell you, there were some people that tried to take over houses and rehabilitate them and make them nice, and the people just got driven out because it's just so bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you have a clientele that tends to not respect where they live.
Well, you had a lot of smock housing.
I heard somebody talk about this new school being potentially attracting new people to the town that maybe will help the economy.
Well,
is that something that
Good
sense, or-
schools
yeah.
do attract people to purchase.
And our school system is not good right now. It's not rated well at all in the state. It used to be really good.
Really?
Oh, the graduating classes in the late '90s, early 2000s were all top notch. All went to big schools. All did well. It's gone downhill.
Huh.
We've had some less than productive superintendents, I believe.
Oh, so there was a leadership problem. Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Well, it's what you're bringing in too for student. You can bring them to school, but you can't make them learn.
Right. Well, if you take discipline out of the schools, you're not getting
Right,
anywhere.
and the discipline is a big factor. That you don't see that problem at the Christian school because the discipline.
Yeah, because they're paying big money to go.
Yeah, and they'll throw them out.
Throw 'em out.
Like Valley Tech.
Same thing.
Yeah, you screw up, you're out of here.
Goodbye.
But in the public schools, they got to take them all, whether they're a problem or not, and that can be a problem. And they got kids that probably need real special education, but they're intermingled into the classroom, and they're disruptive. It makes it hard for to teach the other kids, because you got to deal with those, and they got to take them all. So I have pity on the school department. I mean, tough, and those teachers have to go through with some of these kids. It's pretty tough.
You know the story.
Yeah.
You know what I went through. If it wasn't for George Murray, I would have never known.
Yep.
So what do we got that's positive then? Do we have something that's positive about what's
Pot.
happening?
A lot of pot stores.
Pots.
A lot of pot stores.
By the time they build them, there's going to be a lot of. I think there's 3 more opening this weekend.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the volume like they did in Leicester.
But isn't the pot won't attract like also other kind of like questionable characters or
No. I was having a conversation with one of the detail cops in Leicester, and he was literally laughing hysterically because they're doing details because there's so much traffic. He says, Russ, there are Lexuses and there are
Really?
high-end Toyotas and there are Mercedes and BMWs but the problem is you opened 2. You opened one in Northampton and you opened one in Leicester. So everybody that wanted to smoke or do recreational marijuana legally in the state went and they all attacked.
Yeah.
So now as you open them up, the traffic will die down.
Right. But it's not the element you're talking about. They're not going to buy it legally.
They're not
No.
going to buy it at the
No.
stores.
No.
See, I don't know.
They're not going to pay those prices.
Yeah.
I think it's like $20 for a joint.
I don't know.
Because
I'm
that's
not
what
going
some
in.
people think. I think they think, oh, it's going to be a pot store. Now this is going to really bring down the neighborhood.
No, not really, because
Not at all.
you've got an upscale person that's
Not at all,
going there.
okay.
There is literally 2 companies that just popped up for making the cabinetry for cannabis stores.
So there's a lot of high end people.
His company's one of them, and
Not
it's-
us. We don't make the cabinets. We just supply the glass to those
Yeah.
cabinet companies.
But-
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
There's one in Rhode Island. It's an offshoot of another company that used to make displays for like retail companies like Macy's and
Yeah,
all of that. Well, they have another division that's just based on cannabis stores.
So these stores then will bring more of a high end
Right.
clientele. Is
Probably.
what you're saying.
Right, but I'm saying by the time they were over a year away from getting built, opening
Yeah.
up, because they got a lot of process to go through. You got to go through state permits. They got to negotiate with the town.
Yeah.
They got to build them. Well, not the one down at the if they open up in the industrial park, Osterman Park. That's already built.
Which is perfect because the, Whiten Community Health Center is up front.
Right,
So, if you got 2 stones, you just go in there.
right, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is that the people that are the stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
So anybody buying it's going to have a pretty good income. And ones that don't have a good income, they're going to buy the stuff off the street.
Oh, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
The thing is, with these places, this stuff is grown to make it much better. I guess it's smoother to smoke. It's a lot more kick to it. Or so. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Hey,
You
well,
don't
you know
know?
what you're getting. You know,
And
what,
you know
you're
what you're
getting
getting,
because
yeah.
it's regulated. If you buy it off the
Right.
street, you don't know what's in it.
Yeah,
you don't know what it's laced
you don't
with.
know what's.
Yeah.
It could be laced with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's happened in the past.
So, So that's kind of ironic then. It,
Well, I mean,
might help the neighborhood.
it's gonna help
The first
on
weekend,
taxes.
the first week between Leicester and Northampton was $2.2 million in sales. It was $860,000 or 860,000 or 86,000, whatever it was, in taxes.
So some more
It's
taxes
crazy.
come back to the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get because they're maxing at 6%.
Yeah.
So 6% is quite a bit of money. And, that's not talking what the state gets too. That's just what the town gets is 6%. Because that's the max they're allowed.
Yeah, but you think about that. That is a huge tax. Well, when they put the restaurant tax in, okay, the 6.2,
Yep.
a town could take the other 8%. So
Right.
we go to 7%. Auburn is one of those. They take that money. That's
do it
a
here.
windfall. That's a windfall for them because you didn't have it before.
Right.
It's
We do that here, and it's six
but you
digits.
don't have enough. You don't
it's
have
6
enough.
digits.
Right, I get that, but you don't have enough restaurant in this town.
Right.
If you don't have a Chinese restaurant, you got a damn pizza parlor. That's it. That's all you
No,
have.
no. We got the restaurant down at the Linwood Mill
Okay, and how often is it open?
every day.
From what time to what time?
She opens around noon.
Noon to 7.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's just one type of business.
And then
I'm
you
talking
got-
about an upscale.
Well, we don't
restaurant.
have real upscale.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's what this is starving for.
Right.
Everybody's going out of town for that.
well,
You
I'm
get the
sure.
parking problem. That's the other thing we talked about.
Yeah.
All our parking.
Oh, when you had Brian's, you had to across the street. You had the
Yeah.
parking across the street.
Right.
But
There's people looking at Brian's. The problem that they run into is
lucky it
when
didn't burn to the ground.
and the Board of Health comes in and
Really?
says, well, you got to do this, 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 and this. By the time they're done, they say, oh my God, it's going to cost me a fortune to open.
Ooh.
Same with Sammy's. That's part of the problem, I think, is the cost of opening up because they got to upgrade everything. And you know what the demands are now.
I just went through it.
Yeah.
I just went through the whole thing and had one little thing that had to be cleaned. That was it. Everything else was perfect.
But, I mean, today, the equipment you got to put in now.
My wife runs a restaurant and catering company.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
I'm her indentured servant.
Oh. So she's okay. It's all.
There was
Kosher.
some stuff on the bottom of one of our freezers. Had to be swept and cleaned out, and she came back and she was fine.
That's good.
What the problem is the guy who's on the Board of Health here is the Board of Health inspector in Oxford.
Oh, the woman's not here?
No, is a guy. He's
Oh.
on our Board of Health, and he's a health inspector in Oxford. And whenever he comes in, I give him an awful time.
So we had a woman here for a long time.
Oh yeah, she was really good.
Yeah, so she left.
Yeah, but I'm talking about he's the health inspector in Oxford
Oh.
and
Not.
Leicester, but he's on our board of health.
Oh, okay. Oh, in Northbridge.
Yes.
Oh, okay, now I get you.
And I give him a hell of a lot of crap because he's a neighbor, and you know who he is.
Oh, okay. But see, Northbridge, we have a woman that comes in
Right.
from Westboro. Yeah, she's pretty good.
Well, she's racist. Oh no, I proved it. Oh no,
Oh, really?
I'm not done. I've just begun my little quest. There's one restaurant in town that she tortures, and the Board of Health tortures it. And if I get my druthers, I have somebody that's going to put a little problem for them because she's racist, and so are they. There's a person on the Board of Health that should not be on the Board of Health.
And they're appointed. They're not elected.
Oh, I know, and he should not be on the Board of Health because he gives this one specific place a hard time every time and nobody else. And I've just begun. I'm a crusader. I get in. I don't like people not playing fair.
Yep.
And if you have a specific angst towards someone, that really pisses me off. And they've been torturing an entity in this town for 4 years, and it's the only one. And they happen to be an ethnicity, and that really pisses me off. Treat everybody fair.
Right, evenly.
I don't care. Treat everybody fair, the same way.
Yeah, evenly. You know, if you're strict on one, you'd be strict on all.
I have no problem. We had the problem in Auburn. We had the fire inspector was giving us aggravation. I had to go to their board. Said, if he comes in my building again, I'm suing you. He owned his own restaurant. He was trying to put everybody else out of business.
Oh.
He was no longer a fire inspector.
That's interesting that somebody.
Oh, these things happen, especially in small towns.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But so it's pretty open that you can.
Well,
You can notice that
Board of Health,
this
you have to
is
be
going
appointed
on.
by the Board of Selectmen. But, you know, you
Yeah.
apply, and if nobody else, so play
Sounds
whatever
like
you
a
get.
whole other subject, I guess. But
Oh yeah. Small towns have some problems.
We used to be elected till we changed the charter. Then the Board of Health was no longer elected. Which,
Hey, I have a question for you. You know the answer to this, I'm sure. How many seats are up this year?
on the Board of Selectmen, 2.
2. So this isn't the year for the moderator. The moderator's on the 1.
Right.
Was that last year?
No, I think maybe in 2 years. It's a 3-year term.
Something's got to happen.
Yeah, I know I'm up this year on the planning board.
But something's got to happen. He hasn't been in a meeting in how long?
Well, 2 meetings.
Okay. That's you got your deputy, and if he, I mean, I know.
Well,
if you
I was told that he's going to be at the next one, that he's got his health back now. But he had a lot of problems with his back, and that's why he hadn't been at the last 2, but he should be all right now. And yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, so he's up, he's got another
the
year.
last couple of times that he was on the dais, he had a hard time getting through the meeting.
Right.
I mean, at some point in time, it's time to go.
Well, I may end up checking out anyway.
Well, I know, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
I mean, the deputy moderator did a hell of a job.
He did a good job.
Especially with the amount of people that he had
Yeah.
to deal with.
No, he did a good job. He did a very good job.
I mean, he's got a lousy background as a person, though.
He's a former state police lieutenant.
Yeah. And he was actually a real honest guy. A
Yeah.
real solid person.
Yep.
I give him a lot of garbage. Just as we can. We have fun.
Hey, we got to go.
oh,
Merry
look at
Christmas,
that.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you tomorrow night. My
Merry
guest
Christmas.
is Dan Chauvin, and we're going to get him to do his Hallelujah. All right? See you tomorrow night.
Merry Christmas.